episode 21. I think I've dubbed this week Quick Hits Week because the news cycle, there's not a lot of stuff going on. At least I didn't think there was a lot of stuff going on. And so I thought it'd be interesting to kind of like change up the format and see how it goes. So what do we have to talk about? Let's see. Boeing Starliner, the Rabbit R1, Rivian actually made some big waves this week. And then let's see, Apple's Vision Pro again. What's next for Meta's Ray-Ban glasses, or kind of maybe Ray-Ban glasses? And yeah, we'll go from there. But anyways, quick hit week. Let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, let's do it. Rivian and Volkswagen are partnering, and both companies are bringing something to the table. Rivian is bringing their software to the table, and they're calling it the next generation software-defined vehicle platforms. And so that's the internal software, the driving, the everything, the infotainment, and they're going to be putting that into Volkswagen cars. And Volkswagen is bringing money to the table, which Rivian needs. And so they're going to get as much as $5 billion from Volkswagen, with the first $1 billion being invested in this year. And if the partnership works, then every year after now for 5 years, they'll get another $1 billion. So interesting partnership. When this news broke out after hours, I think it was Wednesday, Rivian stock went up, I think, I want to say 40-60%, like
Yeah,
over.
it was almost it almost topped out at like 18 bucks
Yeah,
overnight.
18 bucks.
But it finished up what, like around 13, 14. So compared back a bit.
Oh yeah,
Like
people
20,
taking
30.
profits.
Unless you're a bag holder like me and still was still not down.
I think it was just maybe 3 weeks ago we were talking about Rivian, and Rivian was at around $6. And so
Yeah.
you were to, if you were to be entering a position into Rivian at that point, you would have been 300% up from that $6 point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. So yeah, this is gonna be a good partnership. I think. I think like it's good for Rivian, gives them liquidity to continue on, gives them more confidence from the market that they're going to be able to survive, even though we all know that I'm very bullish on Rivian, and I know it's going to survive. And then from a Volkswagen perspective, it helps them improve their car software and make their cars more Tesla-esque. Volkswagen, they own the Audi brand. They also own the Porsche brand and the Volkswagen brand. So apparently they had already sent some cars over to California, where Rivian is headquartered, to do some integration and testing, or I guess you to get started. So yeah, like positive, like awesome news for Rivian, and we'll see where it goes. Any thoughts on it?
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess for me, yeah, I mean, it gets basically Rivian through 2026 for that 5 billion, and it actually gives Volkswagen almost like a 25% stake, so larger than Amazon, once they've kind of reached the end of it. And so I think that was the biggest concern from Rivian, right? Were they going to be able to make it to their R production time frame? So this definitely gets them closer to that. I find it interesting on the OG automaker side, right? It's like if you look at the infotainment and all that, they all suck. Like it doesn't matter who, and I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I've never understood why automakers just can't create like good interfaces for their cars. I mean, like seriously, none of them, right? Unless they are only like newcomers seem to be able to do it, and it's the strangest thing. So yeah, so part of this is because Volkswagen's Cariad division, which apparently was just sucking money dry out of it, and they were just like, the new CEO, well, not new-ish CEO who kind of took over for the past couple of years, was like, we need to hedge our bets. And so that's where also what's driving really this goes back to do you build it yourself, or do you acquire or invest in somebody else who's doing it,
Yeah.
right? And so that's what Volkswagen is doing. It's like we've tried many years to do it ourselves and we just suck. So we're going to go out to a company that's built it from the ground up. And so it's also an interesting pivot for Rivian, right? Is now it's completely a software play. If you look at the joint venture, it has nothing to do with their cars at the moment, at least as I understood
It's
it.
the software, central computer, and wiring. I don't know what the wiring part is, but
Well, how it controls the car, right? Basically, and so it's like it's infrastructure. I
yeah.
call it's infrastructure. So I think that's the interesting part. And yeah, Volkswagen will use it. What was it? Mainly for their Audi and Porsche brands to start, which makes sense because that's where it's their high end, right? Anyways, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it was also, I think it was in their official press release, they touched on like subtly this allows Volkswagen to get faster access to their charging network because they're going to be using like Rivian, I guess, wiring or software. And so if that's true, then that also means Volkswagens would get access to Tesla's charging network since Rivians are compatible with Tesla as well. So that's an interesting piece of information.
Mm,
But
I mean, they're all adopting like well, since Tesla is now the North American standard, they're just all going to adopt that, right? So
yeah, but I mean, where the software play comes into it is it just accelerates Volkswagen's like progression to modernization of their electric vehicles, which what you
I see.
said earlier has been severely lacking on some of these OG car companies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good news. I think the algorithms made the stock pop high over after hours, and then the next
Mhm.
2 days it was more of a also a realization that oh, this isn't $5 billion right now. It's $5 billion over 5 years, and so they're only getting one
Yeah.
billion. If you look at the finer details, it's if the partnership works, then they'll get another billion next year. And so
Yeah. Well, it's in the 226 though. They'll get the full five. Well, if I think there's certain milestones though, but
2026.
not 5 years.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
2
26.
years.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Nice.
It's like one and one, and then like three is like a full three is a full injection, um, based off other criteria. It's like spread evenly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, 5/2, which is good.
Yeah. Okay.
Either way is good. Yep.
Well, congrats Rivian and congrats Volkswagen on the new partnership. Let's
Man,
let's move on to the next one.
American
You want to talk about this one?
should have should have loaded up at 10. I'm still a little bit. I was like, man, because we kept talking about it at 10. We should have loaded the boat at 10.
I told you I had it at 6. So 6:30 or 35 or something.
Man, it's like I did, but anyways. All right, not financial advice. Well, with my record, don't take my financial advice. All right. Anyways, next. More Rabbit One news, which should be no surprise. So apparently, a group of jailbreakers found a massive security flaw in Rabbit's code, and additionally, hackers have kind of a hacker posted like they have all the information that Rabbit has been collecting, and so that's kind of been another. I'm going to call it the another nail in the coffin of the Rabbit. So if you have one, if you're a tester, don't use it anymore because all your info is just being collected. Even all the voice prompts. It's like literally everything apparently
Crazy.
has been captured.
So basically, everyone at Perplexity who has Rabbit devices because they need to test them or they got them for free, all your trade secrets are on
Yeah,
are hacked.
yeah, yeah. Apparently, it was like had something to do with like their API keys that they were using were all compromised, and
Android
they
API
didn't.
keys.
Yeah, and they were notified, and they didn't update, and yeah, it's just like a mess. It's like startup 101, like security should be your one of your main priorities because you are going to be a target. That's just
Yeah.
that's just how it is, right? But anyways, so yeah, more I guess it's more of a like a PSA Rabbit One owners testers don't use it anymore. I think at one point it was bricked anyways because that was their kind of like fail safe. It's like stop everything. Um, but anyways, if you haven't heard the news,
Yeah.
that's the news.
Well, if you own a Rabbit, protect yourself. Your data's leaked, so it's too late. But you also should have known
Hopefully.
that buying a V1 new product that is not even mainstream yet. All right, next
Yes.
one. Quick hit. Starliner, Boeing Starliner. You all know that Boeing Starliner was kind of plagued from the beginning. I mean, the launch itself, like we talked about previously, was an accomplishment by Boeing, but it experienced problems as soon as it got to the space station when it couldn't dock properly, and there were some helium leaks or something going on in it. And the latest news with Starliner is that the media likes to create the clickbait as the astronauts are stuck in space because Starliner can't come back to Earth. Now, this is all just, speculation, but basically what's happening is they've got two astronauts at the space station, and they were supposed to, I guess, come back already. They have a 45-day window, max window, but the Starliner is not able to come back because the ground team at Boeing wants to continue running tests. And Boeing is saying that, oh, this is not like they're reassuring the public that the astronauts are not stuck in space. They're just, running more tests, and they're using the time to, do more experiments or like learn about space, which makes sense. Like, who knows what the timeline is? Who knows what they're doing? But because of the issues and just, Boeing in general that likes to get trolled, people are saying that they're stuck.
Yeah.
They can't come back.
Yeah. It's like at this point, NASA's probably like, why did we? Well, it's like, all right, this is we're done. But I mean, it goes back to all the issues that Boeing has had, right? It's just like the engineering culture is pretty much gone, and
Yeah.
so everybody kind of expected this, like when it was launching, right? Like propulsion systems were messed up, it was leaking, and like this 45. I know they're trying to spin it in the best possible light, but it's like at this point, are you going to trust it to bring back two people to Earth? Like Earth entry is not an easy thing, right? It's actually super very dangerous, and it's very like if it's not on point, it's like a lot of things can go wrong very quickly, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, I mean, we'll see. You know,
Yeah, it
we'll
says.
see. Maybe it'll be Elon to the rescue. Oh, also, I guess we should point out Elon's picking up his beef again with Boeing, which is deservedly so. Again, calling out the CEO of Boeing is like the you know the CEO should be like engineers, or they should at least be an expert in what their
Yeah.
company does, right? Not some MBA just managing. If anybody saw the hearings where they were grilling him, I mean, it was brutal, so brutal.
Well, this Ars Technica article articulates it well. NASA managers originally planned for the Starliner spacecraft to remain docked at space station for at least 8 days, although they left open the possibility of a mission extension. However, the
Hmm.
test flight is now likely to last at least a month and a half, perhaps longer, as engineers want wrestle with the sorry, as engineers wrestle with helium leaks and thruster glitches on the Starliner's service module.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, maybe Elon will come to the rescue. Send a capsule up to space station,
Yeah,
pick him up, and get him back down
bring him back.
before Starliner even gets fixed.
Yeah, because I also wonder like the International Space Station is like how much reserves does it have, right? Because they have to plan it out. It's not like it's
Yeah,
you can just walk down to the 7-Eleven, pick a stuff up. It's like they have to take consideration and like, all right, we're sending up a refueling rocket every whatever for this many number of people, and so having two extra people stuck on board, I'm sure kind of messes up some of those plans too.
yeah.
So,
Well,
but anyways,
hoping for the best for those astronauts. I'm sure everything's fine for now, but we'll pay attention to it.
The issues continue.
All right.
Yeah, so more of I'm not sure, like rumors, not rumors, but after WWC, apparently there's some news out there that Apple is kind of rethinking their Apple Vision Pro strategy ish. They were apparently developing an even higher end version of the Vision Pro, if you can imagine that. So I think that is likely scrapped, and they're figuring out like what are they going to do for this lower cost version. Um, but
Yeah,
anyways,
it makes sense. It
pretty,
was too expensive, and I think what they're seeing is
yeah,
it's not it's not a pricing fit for the market right now.
yeah, yeah. And
So
so apparently, yeah, there's just some rethinking of what is next for Vision Pro, which is kind of interesting because they put so much emphasis on it, right? Spatial computing is the next thing, but now they are going back and apparently evaluating augmented reality glasses.
yeah, what I heard
Yeah.
is they want to invest more in like the lower end model versus the higher end model, which makes sense.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
get it in the hands of more people, and in order to do that successfully, it needs to be
Mm-hmm.
cheaper. Obviously, if they
Yep.
build a higher end model, it's going to be more expensive. And yeah, I think with that news, and also with all this different glasses news
Yep.
starting to come back up, it's a new start of a wave for glasses, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, going back to the idea of product market fit, even Apple, $1 trillion company, doesn't always get it right the first
Hmm.
time. So they're going back to not going back to the drawing board. It looks like they're probably taking a bigger pivot than they probably anticipated in trying to come up with a better product. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good segue into the next one, which is similar.
yeah. So I also caught, I guess, Mark Zuckerberg. I guess he's doing the rounds. He did an interview on a YouTuber channel. They covered a wide range of things around AI, kind of like creators. But one tidbit that Mark did throw down is they are working on a fully augmented um, prototype for like what he's calling true AR glasses. So I think if you take the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, what's the next step for that? So yeah, so he did drop a little tidbit that what is it? It's called Project Orion, and potentially they'll not launch it, but it'll be part of their annual Connect conference in the
Mm,
fall.
this fall, wow.
So for any Meta investors, not financial advice, there's one of your key market movers there. Likely is that they're Connect. So I'll be interested to see, yeah, what
Yeah.
this is, and it kind of ties. It's interesting because again, Meta has kind of been pushing more of this like low end, not low end per se, but like a price point that more normal people can afford. And it also looks like they're just like the Meta Ray Bans have been way more successful than they anticipated, and so I think they're trying to meld the two now, right? It's like what did they take from their Quest,
Hmm.
from their Ray Ban, put it together, and maybe they have something there. Um,
Yeah,
anyways,
that's
in the
interesting.
fall. Hmm.
Um, I bought a pair of Meta Ray Bans, the first version that came out.
Hmm.
Just I wanted to see the technology and use it. I had no plans of keeping it unless I really liked it,
Hmm.
and I generally liked it. The only reason I think why I returned them or didn't want to keep them was they're just bulkier. They're just bulkier
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
normal Ray Bans. So once these companies figure out the form factor and getting them to a place where it doesn't need to bulk up to house
Yeah.
the hardware, I
Hmm.
think that's when it'll start to go more mainstream.
Yeah.
Um, and then if you think about it, like just talked about Apple thinking through the lower end model of what Vision Pro is. You have Zuckerberg talking about full holographic glasses, and so
Hmm.
sounds like the technology is getting into a place of maturity to where now these companies can start doing some cool things with
Yeah.
glasses. And so now I think, okay, like I said, just 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago, this wave of glasses coming up. What's Google doing? Like, they're one of the
Yeah.
first to kind of pioneer the whole like Google Glasses and wearable thing there. And then the sleeping giant or the sleeper is Snap, right? Because their
Hmm.
whole company is when they
They're a hardware company, right?
yeah, they're a lens company. They're a
Yeah.
camera company.
Yeah.
And their whole thing had, and they were one of the first to launch glasses, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder what they've got up their sleeves that they're not talking about. Yeah, it's exciting because I would love to own myself a pair of good glasses that can do, supplement what my phone's doing, or just
Hmm.
supplement my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Well,
So
we'll
many
see. Yeah.
times, and I'm sure you know this too, as like a dad, like so many times where, just I wish I had my phone, or I wish I
Right.
snapped that photo, and glasses is gonna allow us to do that.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
In the fall, connect.
Fall's not that far away. It's like 2 or 3 months away.
Actually, yeah, yeah. It's only like a quarter away. That's true.
I mean, we're in
More
July
this
next
year.
month, so that's like
Yeah.
2 month countdown to the Apple
Yeah.
Apple event. It's crazy.
Oh, that's right. Apple. Yeah, Apple in September also. Their new iPhone, whatever that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see which
You
iPhone
know,
to get.
ac- actually, what I now that I say it, what it'll be interesting is everybody was anchored on this next iPhone will be the one that Apple uses to get up to get their AI right, right. So WWC kind of is like a pre-announce what the direction of the iPhone. But then remember what we talked about last week, where it's like they're not going to launch any of those AI features, mostly in the EU. So it's like, well, does that mean iPhone 16 is kind of wah wah? It's like, oh, this is not as hot as it could be because they can't launch it everywhere.
Yeah, I think something's gonna
We'll
happen
see.
there. One thing that I heard last this week too was Microsoft got a similar suit for the DMA because of, I think, Copilot,
Right.
and
Yeah, this is yeah, not surprising.
so yeah, we'll just have to see.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, like I'm not financial advice. I'm more invested. Meta is my top holding, so
Yeah,
I'm hopeful.
I think
Who's doing
Meta
good this week
is
too,
is
by the way.
the likely is the one probably that has the most opportunity
Yeah.
because it's got the smallest market cap of all the big tech companies, and
Hmm.
I think they're doing more stuff than Nvidia. So
Yeah.
for Nvidia to be top three just because of its chip sales and
Yeah.
demand compared to Meta, who's been here since 2005 and just has like ownership of the world basically. It's crazy that they're as small as they are.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is one where I took my own advice and bought the dip. So, anyways,
All right.
anyways,
Last one here. Wanted to just nod to the debate. We don't like to talk about politics here too much, but I think it does have to be at least acknowledged slash addressed. Yeah, you're shaking your head just says it all. It's just like WTF?
it,
Like what? Why are these the two people that we have as our candidates?
it's like, is this the best that America has to offer? Right?
Yeah,
It, yeah. It's like you try to come up with words or like how to even talk about it, but it's like all you can do is like shake your head and going like, is this what America has come to? Like, right? Well, like the most powerful country in the world, and you have these two guys who are just.
fighting about their golf swings.
I know. It's like I was like on TikTok, and what was it? There was one like doing comparison of past presidential debates, and they were showed the one with Obama and McCain from like 2008, and it was just like, this is what a leader of the most powerful country in the world should be doing, right? And it's just like, man, it's like why like not to get into ageism or anything like that, but there comes a point in time where it's like younger generation needs to like take over and like help drive the way forward for themselves, right? Because I think that's what's come up over the past few years is like this older generation is not leaving behind a better world for the younger generation, right? And it's like things, and you see things like this. It's like, yeah, it's time to get like some 40 year or even a 50 year olds in there, like pass the torch. Like you guys,
Yeah.
go enjoy life, retire, or do something else. But it's like for this, it needs new thinking, etc. Anyways, not to get not being ageism at all or whatever. I'm pretty old myself, but it's just like, yeah, again, one generation, it's time to move on. Younger generation, it's time to step into step into it, right?
Well, the saving line in what you just said is that's going to have to happen by force after this next term because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
it's gonna
like
happen of course. Yes.
if Trump wins, he can't run again. If
Yeah,
Biden wins, he can't run again. If Biden
yeah,
loses, he's not going to run when he's 80,
yeah,
82, 80, what, 86, 84.
yeah. He'd be like 86 by
Yeah,
then.
he's not going to run at that age. So
Yeah,
this is the last term that we have to deal with this.
yeah.
But I'm a strong like I'd say I'm not a strong Biden supporter, but I definitely don't want Trump in office again.
Hmm.
However, this debate made me at least be like, like as much as I despise, what Trump did in his term, he's just more coherent.
Hmm.
Like he at least I look at him and he understands what people are saying.
Yeah,
It's frustrating, man.
yeah. No, it's yeah. However it goes out, this next 4 years is probably going to be
Yeah.
it's going
Well,
to be another messed up 4 years.
I don't know how much you listen to political related or just or news related politics podcasts, but
Yeah.
what I had heard is, like behind the scenes, potentially, like
Hmm.
Democrats could nominate another candidate based on his performance because
Yeah.
I think it was
I
pretty
mean,
damning for Biden.
yeah, that would be shocking.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, if something were to happen like that, would be shocking this late in the cycle, right? Because again, we just said we're only 5 months away from the election at this
Mhm.
point,
But
and
it's
to
like
throw in a new candidate,
on one hand, risk losing the presidency.
mm-hmm,
On the other
mm-hmm,
hand, do something shocking
yeah,
to get a better
yeah,
candidate in there to regain
yeah,
the presidency.
yeah. I mean, it's almost like a game at this point. It's like, all right, you've got 5 months left. If you want to replace Biden, right? You need to put somebody up there that people instantly recognize to begin with because
Yeah.
you don't have time to build them up again, right? There were rumors going around way earlier that Michelle Obama was they were going to do exactly that, do a switcheroo
Yeah.
and have her and announce that she would actually be the running candidate for the Democrats. But I think the Obamas have stated clearly that they don't want to get into politics like that, or at least Michelle would not.
Yeah.
Right? That's just not her thing. But
She would be good.
anyways,
I mean, she would be good. I think though she just hasn't had the time to like build up, right? Like her campaign for people who don't know her or don't understand her.
well, yeah, I don't think that would matter, right? It would
No.
just be she's Obama, or
Yeah.
she's right. She's been the first lady for full 8 years. Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's recognition. I really think it'd be more on
Main.
Michelle whether she would actually want to do it. Right. I don't think it would be a hard. If she said I want to run for president, I don't think there'd be anybody that said that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah. The other two I heard was Kamala, since she's already in the presidency and like
I
that's
just
an
don't
E.
know her.
What's that?
Yeah, even I just don't know her. Like even today, it's like okay, I know she's VP, but other than that,
She's not very visible. That's true. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of weird. But
And then the
anyways,
other one was Hillary, bringing Hillary back, who technically, she did win the people's vote last election, but because
mhm,
of how messed up our voting system
mhm,
is, like
mhm.
she didn't get the delegate votes.
Yeah,
So
Hillary would be interesting.
yeah,
Again, although I've heard her, and maybe maybe it's just I would wonder if she would want to do it too. Like in the past, she's always said, that I'm done with it. But in this case, if she were forced to, it's like we really need you
yeah,
to save us. And I could see her wanting to do that, and also just to take another jab at Trump.
yeah.
Because
I want to see her take jabs at Trump.
man, it's going to be a crazy 5 months up into the election.
It is. It's man. It's since COVID started, it's just been interesting times in this world.
Yeah, I know. It's like anyway.
All right. Well, that was our quick hit.
Okay.
We got through a lot, and another brief, shorter episode. So
Yeah,
let's see what happens this week. And
I like it.
yeah,
Hey, don't forget, subscribe, like, comment. Let us know if you like this format versus how we kind of done it in the past. Again, we are still experimenting, looking for our own product market fit. So any feedback is helpful. Let us know.
all right. I'll see you next week, Tony.
See you next week.